Welcome to Torment, Tides of Numenera. Where's that game? There's that game. And it's looking fine, it's looking fine. Hello, and welcome. It's so hot in here. I was going for a run just, some minutes ago. And I thought I had enough time to shower and then not sweat after it. But, the sweat came. The sweat is still there. And that's why I'm 12 minutes late. Damn, that's a long time. That's why I'm 12 minutes late. But on the other hand, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so I wonder who will be watching. Whew. But I'm starting to dry up. Or to dry, rather. Drying up wouldn't be a good thing, would it? Okay. That's a nice little... fan, isn't it? Kitty Cat got it after... I think she got one of her judo belts. Okay. Now, let's begin with the game. Let's start. So, we had a mic check. Mic check successful. Any kind of crizzly dizzle in the background of my dear... No. Picture is fine. Because the sun doesn't fuck me up. Because I'm streaming at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then the sun isn't getting through that window right over there. So, let's begin. Torment, Tides of Numenera. We are at Matkina's. And Matkina asked us to go into the mare caster of another caster, I think, called Tash. Tash, a mare caster is something where you can put your, like a pensive from Harry Potter. Something where you can put your thoughts and your memories into. And this Tash Matkina was talking about, Matkina is the white death that we were looking for. She says that he changed her memories or deleted some of her memories, removed them. And of course, she doesn't like that, and we are there to help her. And in this Marecaster, we might be able to see what she has forgotten and then tell her what it is. For some reason, she can't use the Marecaster on her own. I don't know why. Maybe Tash made it so. Number one. But why not? Ooh, I have a blue and gold tide. Empathy and wisdom. That's me. Empathetic, wise man. Maybe I will just read out what we are doing here, because this is now the Cold Calculating Jack, the main quest that we were following for the last couple of streams. These are... Oh, we have the book that Philanda wanted from us. We can return it to her. But apart from that... Ooh. Right. We have something in our mind that we don't want to have there. Okay. We will get back to that later. But now we are here at the Code Calculating Jack. No. It began with the search for Matkina, because apparently a cast-off helped build the resonance chamber. Kasmin and Mimian don't know the name of this mysterious artificer, but the other cast-offs might. Only one of my siblings is presently in the city, an albino assassin named Matkina. Perhaps she can give me answers. I will not repeat what cast-offs are, who Kasmin and Mimian are, because I repeated that this is the 14th stream now, I think. The last 13 streams, I'm done. Only when a new viewer comes up and asks me, of course. Kasmin and Mimian described Matkina as pale-skinned and very, very dangerous. She is known in the city as the White Death. Matkina was most recently sighted in Underbelly, so the people of that district might know where she's hiding. Having discovered and actually stood in the Changing Guard Sanctuary, I can now tell Mappa what I found. We will do that. A mutant named Mappa claims to know where Matkina is hiding. He'll only reveal what he knows if I can find a hidden sanctuary that was established long ago by the Changing Guard. Apparently, it's the one important site in Sagus Cliffs that Mappa hasn't yet located. All he knows is that it's underground, somewhere very close to the Sticker lair. The Sticker refused to take me to the Changing Guard Sanctuary. I'll have to find another way to reach it, or convince them that I can be trusted. We did that. We did all of this. Yep. And now we are in the Cave of Last Words. And when I first discovered that Matkina was hiding here, pretty cool. I have, because I'm a Torment Tides of Numenera super backer, and have the Collector Super Mega Edition, and there were, I think, 5 or 4 novellas in there. And one novella is about a couple of kids that are hiding in the Cave of Last Words. So these novellas play in the 9th world, and play in the 9th world? They are set in the 9th world, and that was cool. Mappa revealed that Matkina is hiding out in a place called the Cave of Last Words. I can only get there by traveling underground. We are here now. Matkina says that she knows the name of the cast-off I'm seeking, or at least she used to know his name, but her mind was damaged by an enemy. Now she has asked me to enter a mirror that belongs to someone named Tash, probably the very person who injured her. Inside this mirror, she wants me to find out what I can about a musical instrument called a jack. She thinks the jack is the key to repairing her shattered mind and recovering her memory. Oh, that's why we are supposed to get in there. Okay. Then, first of all, before we go into Matkina's mare, let's look around. What's here? The hole in the corner is large, about 2 meters across. It was clearly carved, but not by human hands. It leads into a dark tunnel. You know that it was dug by the Sticker, and it leads to the underbelly. Remain here. Ah, okay, that's where we came from. Okay. Loot! Take all them loot. Ooh, oddity. What are the oddities that we found? A 6-fingered glove, yes, that we haven't looked at more so far. Oh, we know about that. That's the one from just now, isn't it? The Father Teller. The small polished disc looks like a handheld mirror, but anyone who looks into it sees an image of their father or their species equivalent, looking back at them, mirroring their every move. When you hold it though, all you see is your own face. Ooh, Halloin, kitty cat! Meow meow. Wasser ist Leben. I stopped sweating. Thanks for the idea of using this fan. What would I do without you? What would I do without you? What I do without you? There's my mouse. No, we know everything. This was some kind of glasses. Let's use them here, why not? Strange colors. Put it back in my pack. Okay. You ate already? I had breakfast, yes, but I could eat some more, but not during the stream. Maybe during a break, but maybe that's the info that you wanted to know. A tunnel once led in this direction, but the ceiling has collapsed. The clay containers smell of cheap wine and spoiled food. A dirty wash basin sits atop a barrel of stagnant water. And there we can get out of here, I guess.
Let's go.
But what would you prepare? What are you eating now? Because I smelled some buns or rolls or whatever you want to call them in the kitchen that you got from work, haven't you? Are there some buns? So yes. I wouldn't say no to some buns. They are easy to eat. I can eat them very quickly.
Fine.
Where does this lead? To Caravanserai? Okay. The final words of countless men and women are scrawled upon the stone wall. Some apologize to loved ones, while others rage against an injustice or a slight. A few left only their names. Yep. Do 'em like you always do, Cody Cat. Do 'em like you always do. Cutie Cat knows what I like.
All right.
Okay, Matkina.
Finally! Something to do!
Hey, it's a day-to-day normal conversation that couples have. Speed, medium weapon. But he ain't got speed. He's the speed guy. Or Eritus. Light melee weapon, medium. 8 plus 2. 8 plus 8. But he has might edge. Dang. And it heals 4 points on the wielder. Come on, try and use this.
I wish I had more hands!
Yeah, I know what you mean. There it is. No, not in the stream. That's. I don't know. I don't watch enough streams to know if couples sometimes do talk on stream about their everyday life. I think they do. 4 plus 12. 4 and 3 plus 6. It's 7 plus 6. Okay, no. That's... you can sell it, yeah. Why should we sell it? He won't use it. What does he have? Yeah. Plus 15 evasion. Plus 15 and plus 2 might. Plus 10 evasion. I think I have a fly on my head. Or is it sweat? There was something on my head, I think. Weird. Okay, Matkina, let's do this. Let's do this. Game saved. I want a nice and cool. thumbnail. Matkina is pacing the room, staring into space and muttering down at the little machine she holds in her hands. It takes her a moment to focus on you, but even before she does, her weapons are ready, at the speed of instinct. Why are you here? She catches herself. Did you change your mind about the mayor? What do you want? Let's talk about the mayor again. Yes? I'll enter it. I'll do it. She plucks Tash's Marecaster from the table. She looks at it, at you, and back at the device. She licks her lips as if weighing her options, and then, before she can hesitate anymore, slaps it into your hands. It's surprisingly heavy. Do it. Find the jug. Bring me my answers. You focus on the device, and you feel something tugging at your mind. Everything is wrong. Tash's body, yours now, clings like a wet cloak. The world is too bright for nighttime. Everything is too clear. Distances too close. Edges too sharp. Memories like bloodflies buzz about your head, whizzing away before you can catch them. Hard-ridden Aneen heave their flanks and huff behind you. Like you, they've gone too long without rest. And there's Matkina. A much newer Matkina. As drawn by a pandering portraitist. Too soft, too fresh, too pretty. All wrong. On the wastes you see the light of campfires, and in the humble village before you, a bigger, brighter fire burns. It's a pyre. Inside, a body that's too large burns too slowly. Greasy coils of smoke rise into the night. Villagers circle the bonfire, wailing and shaking. The headman's rough voice continues the ritual. From exile you are released. Among the mourners some echo. You are released. He throws a handful of powder into the fire, metal salts perhaps, and a spray of shining embers rises into the night, mostly gold, some green, some purple. From wrath you are released. From wrath you are released. As the embers float out toward the plains and fade among the stars and campfires, you hear Matkina whisper reverently, you are released. Okay. She's next to some people surrounding a campfire who are releasing something. A pyre. Oh, bodies. Yes, I know. Body. When people die, they get burned in pyres. Oh shit! I wish I had. I don't know. Q without E. Shiraxi. Anyone? Anyone who chooses the choices for me? Because I'm I don't know. I don't know. We are Matkina, so talking to her, I don't know what that would do. Try to remember who you... Oh no, we're not Matkina. We are standing next to Matkina. Right. Stare at the distant campfires? That could give us information. I mean, we are here to find out what the jug is that Matkina is looking for. Wait until the ritual is finished. I can tell you, sometimes you can choose more options here, sometimes only one. If you choose the right one, let's perceive. Let's begin with a perception. Because we're good at that. You squint your unnatural eyes and focus until the pyre, the village, everything else fades away. At last the blurry campfires resolve into something crisper, and you see the faint shadows of men around them, men in long coats and broad hats, painstakingly cleaning their jezails and daggers. There are perhaps 100 of them. Matkina sees you staring and grunts. Sand Knights. From her tone, it's obvious that they are no friends of hers or yours. Let's see who we are. I hope that I hope that it doesn't take too long. Oh, yes. We are trained in analysis, thank God. The memories try to buzz away, but you are too quick for them. You seize them and squeeze. This body is you are Tash. You already know that, but now you know yourself as you didn't before. The body fits better. You're a cast-off, and when you call on the tides, you can destroy memories. You're a soldier of sorts, in service of the militia under the command of Paj Reckon. You're a scout, Matkina's spotter. The two of you are not warriors, you're specialists. You're killers. But you're not here to kill. You're here to promise something to the villagers and to get an object, a flute of some sort, the jug. As for why, that memory and others remain beyond your reach. Let's not barge into the ritual. Maybe wait till it's finished and then talk to her? Phew. As the body burns and the mourners chant, you wait in the shadows at the edge of the village. At last, the corpse is consumed and the headman gives a final cry. To the distant dark you are released. To the distant dark you are released. The villagers echo him, then drift away, leaving him alone beside the smoldering pyre. Matkina, with a hiss and a gesture, leads you over. He sniffs the air at the sound of your approach and, with a broad smile, calls out, Kina! His eyes are large, milky marbles. He puts hands on her shoulders. You return in unpleasant times. She touches his cheek. I return because the times are unpleasant, Neng. Without another word, the three of you leave from the fire and enter Neng's dark hut. Neng's home is humble and small, hardly furnished and wholly undecorated. On entering, he lowers his weary bulk onto a hassock and gestures towards similar cushions for you and Matkina, then begins without preamble. They hung him from a tree, old Garib, took their daggers to him, called it pruning. Blind to others' expressions, he has become oblivious to his own, and he wears his pain and anger nakedly. With a grunt he continues. They sent him home by skimmer, along with the compact they'd made to the plains people. He waves at the crumpled sheet of paper on the floor. Tick read it to me. Tick read it to me. They've promised to put an end to our menace, Kina. Why? We've always paid the blood price for whatever harm we've done. You know that they know that. Yes, Matkina says softly. But the Sand Knights won't take shins. You know that. The militia is here to help, Neng. You are who we stand for. The small, the threatened, the hunted. That's who we are too. She takes his hand. Come away. If you tell the knights you're going, they won't force a fight. They have bigger battles ahead of them, believe me. This is our place, Kina. Pashrekin will give you a home. Trust her. Neng is silent. Greetings, Heldrick! Finally! Someone can help me choose the choices. If you want to. Cheers. Just so you know, we are in a marecaster. A marecaster kind of has memories or happenings memories inside from other cast-offs. We are in Tash's marecaster. We are Tash. Tash is a companion of Matkina, and we have met Matkina in the real world, and she's also another cast-off, and she wants us to go through the marecaster and find out where the jug is. It's some kind of instrument. And apparently, Tash, the guy we are in this memory, used the jug in order to manipulate Matkina's memories or delete some of them. So it's our mission to find the jug in order to repair Matkina's memories. Matkina is in this memory as well. And it seems like we are some kind of part of some kind of militia here to try and trying to help some villagers. Neng, this is Neng. He seems to be the leader of his people and knows Matkina, and yeah, he's blind. This is the text. And I think you've missed only 2 or 3 other screens. 3 or 4. I'm already confused. Okay, then if you want to, I'll just keep playing along. I don't want to put you into a spot that you don't want to be in. Scusi. But thanks for being here, Heldrick. Hello, and thanks. Hello. The contract. Yeah, there is a contract of sorts that he got from the enemies. Oh, the Sand Knights are the enemies. And they apparently have made some kind of contract, but they've promised to put an end to their menace. Okay, so Matkina wants them to just leave. They want to stay, and the Sand Knights promise something that they might... yes, I have. Should I just keep playing along and I'll choose the choices, or do you want to do that? But because when you're already confused, maybe you don't want to be in the position to have the last say. Let's read the crumpled note, maybe. You unfold the compact sent by the Sand Knights. The writing is neat, plain, small, and seems to go on in tightly stacked lines. In essence, it is a vow to safeguard the villages and towns of the Vergulian Waste from the menace in Colne Village. The knights promise that they will undertake Dankeschön! Steps to assure that the killers in Colne Village never harm anyone again. Extermination is never mentioned, merely implied. So they are... I do it. Okay. Hendrik, okay. So. Vow to safeguard the villages and from menace and Colne Village. The knights promise... Beneath the Knight Marshal's chop are signatures from various burghers, mayors, and elders of towns and villages on the waste. The knights ask nothing in return from them. The signatures vow nothing. They merely endorse, justifying whatever the knights undertake. What happened to your eyes? Matkina gives you a hard look, but Neng merely shrugs. An accident, long forgotten. He rubs the blind orbs with his thick, grubby fingers, then shakes his head. It is a smaller thing than you might think. We could say nothing. I think option 3 is a little... I don't know. Just trust Kina. Neng cocks his white head. Why would I doubt her? There was a plains child, a beautiful boy, wandered too far into the waste and was gone. We all gave him up. But Kina... He puts his hand on her shoulder. She left that night with a knife and a lamp and a rope. Just said, I'll bring him back. Hardly spoke back then, our Kina. Made things easier. Week later, she comes back, the boy riding her shoulders, a string of Chirok heads dragging behind her. He fixes his blind eyes upon you. When she speaks, I trust. But even if parched Rakan sets land aside for us, we can't just leave. It's not so simple. Plains people can't understand. Let's not choose option 5. Torment / mukbang stream. For a long moment, Neng turns his blind gaze back and forth between you and Matkina. What it means to be a hill person. What it's like to wrap yourself in chains every day. But maybe I'm an old fool. You're not the Kina who left, and you, stranger. You're soldiers. Maybe you've started to understand what it's like to hold yourself back. Matkina's answer is sharp. Neng. All my life I've had to restrain myself, but not in the militia. It's freedom, Neng. The freedom of knowing that what you're doing is right, and so you don't need to hold back. The old man shrugs. Then I was right. You can't understand. I like option 3. And I like option 5. Why not, huh? Why not? Neng nods slowly. You're right, of course, even if you've got the manners of a Margram marauder. After a minute, he turns his blind eyes to Matkina. But we can't go without the jug. The what? Matkina asks. Up the hill behind the gate, the cave's been sealed for generations. Inside is the jug. It's what helps us keep our worst instincts inside, if we leave it so. He trails off, gesturing to the pyre outside. After a pause, he leans in, whispers in Matkina's ear. Now, you alone of the plains people know how to open the gate. You work your way up the terraced hillside, leaving Neng to make his case to his people. In the distance, you see that the Sand Knights are on the move, riding hard toward Colne village. Neng will need to make his case to them too. When you arrive at the cave and its huge, ancient gateway, Matkina shakes her head. For years I wondered about this. The hill people tell a fable that the first men and women came out of there. They said the gate would only open when it was time for people to disappear. One way to keep kids from poking around and disturbing the jug, I guess. Something she said stirs your mind, and your memories jingle like a wind chime. Okay, give me the memory. At once, a glaring light shines over your mission, as painful as it is revealing. You're not here to help Pash Reckon save Cone Village. You're here to help Pash destroy it. She knew the village's secret, knew about the Jark. Most importantly, she knew the Sand Knights would come, knew about their compact. The plan isn't to take the villagers out of the Knights' way. In fact, it depends on causing the very battle Matkina promised would be averted. When the Knights arrive, Pash will destroy the Jark, forcing the Hill people into their feral state, unleashing them upon the Knights, weakening one of the militia's foes. And Pash is coming in person to see that all goes right. Damn. But Heldrick, I certainly can't see why you are confused. Even I am confused after playing it the second time. At least I know who Pash Reckon is. So this is Cone Village. So we are trying to use the villagers to fuck up the Sand Knights. Okay. What exactly are these hill people, Matkina? My family. Matkina sighs and taps her foot impatiently. Impatient with herself, it seems, because she soon rushes forward. An Aeon priest named them Teratomorphs, but they don't use that name or any other. They've lived here on this hill for ages. They protect any plains people who sought shelter in Cone Village. Teratomorphs? She swallows, closes her eyes, makes a decision. They're not human. Sometimes they change, go wild. Usually it happens to the young, the old. People in other villages call it skin changing. And they call the hill people monsters. It passes, and they change back, but sometimes they leave the village and never turn back. They lose control. People get hurt. With a protective edge in her voice, she finishes. Family. That's what they are. Family. People. Okay. Are we... I know what I did in my first playthrough, and I think I want to do it again. But on the other hand, I would like to see what happens if I do it the other way. But now that I think about it, I think when I've played it the first time, I reloaded the save game and just to see what would happen if I did it the other way. So I think... Eldrick, and anyone else who's watching. Are we helping the villagers of Cone Village, the family of Matkina, the nice people? Or are we going through with our mission and use these nice people to attack the Sand Knights who are our enemies? And maybe other people will get hurt in this way too. So, number 1 means we work the mission. Number 2 means we work our conscience. Okay. I'm a good guy. You hurriedly relate your memory of Pash's plot. How she and an armed band... Oh, but then we will not get the Jark, maybe. Let's see what happens. You hurriedly relate your memory of Pash's plot. How she and an armed band will be waiting to take the Jarg and destroy it, in order to unleash the Teratomorphs upon the Sand Knights in a living trap. At a certain level, the betrayal is so audacious, the plot so callous, that it is unbelievable. And at first, Matkina is incredulous. But then her face hardens. Something's changed in you, Tash. For the better. You care. She takes her hand. Thank you. Then she scans the horizon for Pash, and so do you, but there's no sign of her. We need to get as far away as we can, she says decisively. Draw Pash off. Buy Neng time to negotiate with the Sand Knights, and keep them from the Jarg. You're barely 100 meters up the hillside before a deafening shriek fills the air and 7 people seem to drop out of the sky. One of them is a woman, and you know immediately to be Pash Reckon. The others must be her bodyguard, tattooed cast-offs with drab armor, mismatched weapons, and the languid readiness of predators. Despite the surprise, Matkina flings a knife before they even hit the ground, and it slips between the plates and one glaive's armor. She's throwing another when a beam of light envelops her. Trapping her in a field of energy. As Matkina thrashes about, their attention is clearly focused on her, giving you an opening, slight as it may be. Oh shit. Reasoning with them, I don't know if I can reason with them. I mean, reasoning is my strong suit in this game, but they seem unwilling to talk this out. Attack them. You rush forward, knowing that you have only an instant until the killer's eyes and arms are turned on you. The instant is shorter than you expect, and it is the last you know. Pain engulfs you. Your body is flung backward into the gate, a smoldering ruin that has just enough consciousness to know that this is the end. And then it's over. And you're slowing off Tash's body, Tash's mind, and all is dark. As your consciousness rises from the shadow of the mare, something clicks in your mind. Something has changed deep inside you, but what? Matkina stares at you, the shock painfully obvious on her face. What? What did you do? I remember Tash cutting me. I see the holes in my mind. I remember him forcing me to the ground, tearing out my history with his tides. But I have other memories now. They're real. Tash didn't do it. I saw him shot with an energy bolt. He was dead. He couldn't violate me, but he did try, didn't he? She holds her head in her hands, shaking, her voice becoming thick. The 2 strands of memory. This is pulling me apart. She looks up at you, tears streaming down her cheeks. No, it's pulling me back together. I remember now. That hole it's almost gone. You changed reality. You changed it. She stands, drying her tears with her sleeves. I don't know if you meant to do that, but you've done more than your part of the deal. You asked about the resonance chamber. I know it. I know it. Mazov's the guy you want. He can fix anything. He might even help design the chamber you're talking about. Your best bet is to look for him in the cast of Sanctuary, Mila West. There's a cast of Sanctuary? It's a sanctum, a refuge, created by the First and our sire. It's shielded from the sorrow, supposedly. Our siblings like to hide there until they can't stand each other's company anymore. Where can I find it? Word of caution. They won't believe you in Mila West. They treat you like they treat every new cast-off, as a pawn in their games with each other. Look out for that. She walks to her table and unrolls a map of the Sargus Protectorate. You're not going to find it by walking there. The entrance is a secret known only to our kind. Here. She points to a spot on the map. Vielen Dank! Many kilometers to the northeast of Sargus Cliffs. The Valley of Dead Heroes. There's a hidden portal in the necropolis. Also, memorize this. She writes the numbers 3431 down on a slip of paper, holds it in front of your eyes for several seconds, then crumples it in her hand. It's a code. It'll make sense when you get to the necropolis. You'll need an airship to get to the valley. The ladder over there leads up to the Caravanserai. You should be able to hire a ship without too much difficulty. Other questions?
Making a note.
Fine. What do you want? More about Mila West. It's a sanctuary for our kind, supposedly from the sorrow. But more realistically, it's a sanctuary from the endless fighting. Adiris, she's like the mother of the place, and forces a strict non-violence policy in there. What's her story? She gives you a long, slow look. You weren't the mayor. You saw what happened. I wanted to make a difference, and they pissed on my hopes. After that debacle, I killed Tash and fell out with the rest of them. She frowns. The conflict between the First and the Changing Guard swallows all our siblings, one way or another. I didn't want that. I wanted to make my own way. They weren't pleased, and here I am. No worse for the lack of their company. Again? Who's the first cast-off? She was, or she claimed to be. She's dead now. She said she'd fight for all of us. They say she was the one who founded Mila West for our sakes. Most of our siblings remember her as a hero. Most of them never actually knew her. She was driven, I'll give her that, even with her decaying body, with all its hurts and wounds. She found masks to cover herself and the strength not to hurt, and she kept plowing on. Like you did. You did know her, okay. Changing Guard. Brilliant, charming, and ruthlessly self-centered. More blood on his hands than I'll ever have. Legend says he wiped out the Tabat, a nearly complete genocide. He left one alive as an object lesson, one of their generals enslaved in the city to teach his enemies not to cross him. There's no man who cares more about himself. The fact that he keeps his immortality himself is proof of that. How many castles are there? Hundreds? Who knows? Supposedly the Changing Guard went to the other worlds, bent time and space, slipped through dimensions. He always had his spare bodies with him. There could be thousands, millions for all I know. This place. This is the Cave of Last Words. It was a thief's hole until the tunnel leading in collapsed. 500-600 years ago, it was where the scum of the city would slip away from the city guard. Before there were levies, before the slave families, the truly desperate lawbreakers fled here when they had no other options. That's the suicide tunnel. She points. The words on the cave walls, those are the final words of people with nothing left to lose. Etched into the bedrock of the city, burned in and burned out by the hopeless. A fitting metaphor. She looks at you appraisingly. If you question the worth of your life, these terminal thoughts are instructive. For a long time they helped me hang on. And then there's a ledge at the end of the tunnel, just in case those words are inspirational. Here, a crooked grin resurfaces. The view is also quite nice. More about the cave. It's an old thief's hole. Story is that Sheila hid here before she became famous. It was old even then. A place where suicides and the desperate would come to launch their last big score. Escaping life on their own terms. How did you find it? I listened to the stories of old thieves. I went to the Bloom and listened to the stories of Sheila. I made friends with the sticker, and I asked them if they knew about a place like this. Turns out they did. I listened. The rest of her replies a long, cold stare. Would you travel with me? Too many with you already. Don't want to join the menagerie. Maybe after you drop them off. Farewell, Matkina. I like Matkina, but I have traveled with her before, so I will not travel with her now. Let's see. Is this the suicide tunnel? Oh, Eritas! Oh, we have... Okay. We have level ups. More skill in... Stealth, maybe? Or running? I could try to get those inabilities away. Or put something to an ability. I mean, I have... What do we have about knowledge? We have machinery law. And I can use the flex skills for other law. You, for example, have the mystical law.
Never felt better than I do right now.
And I can have the natural law, maybe. Does the flex skill +1 training level? Okay, so it's not training level 1, but so that we're just trained, but we can be specialized if we. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I mean. I mean. So. Let's give him natural law, shouldn't we? Yeah, come on. Natural law and natural flex skill.
There we go.
You, Elegant. Why do we have already mystical law? Did I choose that? Machinery, mystical. But I mean, I just used his flex skill, so no problem. Improved skill. No natural law. More smashing, endurance. Extra effort. Yeah, extra effort. Eritas. More skill in running. That's good. And you can fuck them people up. Yep, running skill. Because in a crisis, it takes a long time until Eritas
Ready.
gets somewhere. But not anymore.
All right.
Mm-hmm. The tiers of Sargus Cliff spread out to your right. A jumble of streets and buildings. To the left is the opening of a dark chasm. Tendrils of flesh cling to the edges like vines. That's the bloom. The ocean lies almost 1,000 meters below you, dark and dangerous. Scavenging and fishing sloops crawl slowly across its surface. The rooftops of a few Sargus homes just from the cliff's surface, but mostly it's a clear drop to the sea. You realize you're standing in a shallow depression worn away by more than just weather. The ground and the lip of the ledge are worn smooth from human traffic. Thousands must have come here over the centuries, looking at the sea and contemplating their own demise. Let's see what happens if we jump down. Shall we?
Fine.
We have 3 ledges. From the side you can see everything. Beyond the city of Sargus Cliffs, bluffs and chasms extend toward the horizon on either side of at least 50 kilometers. The sea stretches between them, perhaps 20 kilometers across at its widest. Then the waters widen and swallow the horizon. Okay, so no difference between these
I'm ready.
ledges? Doesn't look like it.
On it.
Okay. What happens if I jump down? You leap into the air. The fall is exhilarating. Wind rushes past you faster and faster, stretching your face like it was made of putty. The boats in the sea grow at an alarming rate. The calls of fishermen and scavengers reach your ears, distorted by the speed. Finally, you slam into the water. The impact is hard as if it were an ocean of bedrock. Then there is only darkness.
I can't die.
Okay. Why not? We jumped off a ledge. Nothing new with you? No. You have to find Mazov. That name tickles our memories. I'm sure he can help you fix the chamber. Then we'll find a way out of this mess. Hey,
Yes. Making a note.
This is the creature you freed from the Changing God's mirror array. You recognize it as easily as your own breath. Glowing discs twist and fold within the shapeless mass, moving in tandem, like eyes. Perhaps that's what they are. They lift, bathing you in their glow, and memory overwhelms you. You are blindfolded. You feel the rough fabric against your eyes, and the frame of the lens. This creature's prison in your hands. It shakes, struggling to get free. You feel its terror, its frustration, its sorrow. Your habitual frown deepens. Even now, after everything you've done to it, the thing wants to serve you. You release the lens and push it to the top of the array with your mind. It is of no use to you now. But later, who can say? Then the memory crumbles. So this is the memory where we put the mirror of onto the mirror's from the last stream. Okay. The creature, Oom, your mind whispers, stares up at you with eyes like radiant, unfurling flowers. Oom says, through some hidden mouth. It is a thick, wet sound, but somehow not unfriendly. Oom explains, or appears to explain, how it ended up in your head. It isn't quite clear if you are understanding the intention of those sounds or are making potentially dangerous assumptions. Oom's eyes focus on you, folding and unfolding. You hear a curious sound in the hidden reaches of the darkness above. The rasp of turning pages. Memories flash through your mind, tinged with your insatiable curiosity. Oom's wide eyes momentarily flicker blue. The sound dies away. Oom stares up at you, waiting. Oom explains, extending a slender tendril towards your ankle. What was the sound? Oh. Let it touch you. The tendril coils you around your ankle, cool and dry. Nothing else happens. Apparently, Oom just wanted to give you a hug. Oom eventually withdraws the tendril, taps your foot, and absorbs the delicate limb back into its body with a quiet. What kind of creature are you? For a while, Oom doesn't say anything at all. It merely looks at you. Just when you think it isn't going to respond at all, a bubble appears at the center of its shifting body, then divides into two. They merge again, split, and become 3. They merge, become 4. Merge and 5. Soft light wells from within each of the bubbles until they are the colors of the tides. Without warning, the bubbles launch into a whirling, spilling dance, moving too fast to track. As you watch, their glowing lines become a perfect circle, a column, a shape that hurts your eyes, a vortex. Abruptly, the 5 bubbles pop, and the only light in Oom's body are its luminous eyes watching you. Blurk, it says, and falls silent. Anything else? Blurk. Can you leave my mind with me? Tendrils tickle the silent spaces behind your eyes. Images of the people already traveling with you flash through your thoughts. Oom whispers shyly at last, its eyes contracting fold by fold. It seems the creature doesn't want to join you when so many are traveling with you already. Okay, Oom.
Ready.
See you later. What is that? It looks dangerous.
Yes. Now. I'll remember that.
Quest received. Wrested Mind. The seal on the portal to the Fathom Realm at Kamos, Villain, and Deviatiku has weakened. It should now be possible to open a way back there, but no doubt the sorrow fragment that sealed it in the first place still remains. Get out of my head. Okay. I freed something from the mirrors in the buried crossroads. Now, it seems to be calling to me from inside my own mind. Oom is cute.
Go.
Strange. Assault placed a barrier against you mere seconds ago. You broke through so quickly. No matter. I have an esoteric that may banish this creature, but I need a few moments longer to prepare it. Assist Gamos and Villain in defending me, so I may do so. Or, you know, he could help. How do you know that ritual of yours will even work? Computer esoteric. As you say. If you have any knowledge of the Numenera, you might also assist me, speeding the process. Get over here if that is true, otherwise I will complete it myself. The soul fragment snarls at Villain, preparing another assault. The threat of violence triggers a reflex deep in your mind, and you subconsciously begin to summon reflections of your current companions. Alright, come on up!
Ready to test this out.
Villain is doing something. Okay, that's good. He's hiding. That's not as good. Let's go here. And how far can I walk?
On my way.
And showed it. Or we could issue a challenge and then go away. But it takes a lot out of me, so no. Just attack it, Tibia. Come on! Now. Don't you have any ciphers? Oh, no you don't. Well, it's got 99 problems. Yeah, I know. Okay. That's +3, so if I do it now, then let's rather just hit it. Bam! Eritis. You do you, Eritis. Okay, so he's got this sword now. Let's see how that goes. 4 + 8. Come on! Hit him! Hit him! Eritis, hit him! That worked! Nice! Oh, she is issuing a challenge. That's good, Kamos, that's good. It's working. The fragment's tether is weakening. Whose turn? Okay, Allegan. Allegan, turn. Maybe can I heal someone? Yep. If anyone, it should be Eritis. Okay, so Allegan, you go here.
Yes.
And try to heal Eritis. Schmupsi.
That's more like it.
Why not? Last cast off. Am I trained in any kind of Numenera stuff? Anamnesis? Perception? Tidal affinity? But... no speeding up the process? I'll run to him.
Go.
I'm weak anyway. Shouldn't it attack Kamos? She issued a challenge. Suck punch. Tibia. Maybe, Tibia, you can hook. How far does it reach? Not that far.
Why not?
But yeah. Get it away from our friend. Oh, this worked really well. Okay, Elchis. Can you do anything but attack? Can you change the weapon in the middle of the fight? Yes, you can.
Wish I
Nice.
had more hands.
4+2, it stays at 4+2, then yeah, 70% hit chance.
How odd. My attack didn't feel strong at all. At all.
It's flanked, that's good, that's good. It's visibly hurting, that's good as well. Halfway there, my friends, we can do this. Elegan. Can you attack it from here? No. But you can get as far into the
You've got it.
to your friends as possible and use adaptation for those three. Why not?
Nothing can stop me now.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't work on villain or Camos. Divertiku. His arms fold and extend in peaceful undulations as he drones a language you do not understand. Motes of light float around his hands. His eyes meet yours. It is a complex esotery I devised to protect against the sorrow. I regret I was never able to make it strong enough for that creature, but perhaps it will be able to aid us here. His gestures, swimming through the burgeoning energy surrounding the nano, are complex and arcane. His words, likewise, seem to hold no meaning. You do not need to understand, he says, intuiting your thoughts. Go. Fan it off while I complete the ritual. Shit. So I don't know anything about anything. Maybe
Yes.
if I step here and shoot it from here, it will... I'm so weak. I could try and sucker punch it. Sucker punch!
Someone needs to smash me in the face with some healing.
Oh, you're right. Tibia, you should challenge. No, don't. Then, you know, just go there and shoot it. As hard as you can. Shoot it hard.
Hey, who keeps making my eyes close?
Altus, you kill it now. Kill it dead.
How odd. My attack didn't feel strong at all.
At all. I can still go somewhere. Okay, I think I will stay. Hide? Why not? We have the advantage now. Do not falter. Elegant. I could kill it now, or I could heal my peoples. Come on, Elegant, you kill it. He only has 4. You kill it, Elegant. You kill it.
Damn!
Damn! Okay, cast off. You kill it then.
That's the last time you'll touch me!
Whew. With the fragment of the sorrow gone, you feel new connections being made in your mind. It's as though the sorrow itself were keeping you from your full potential. Oh, well done. Rion, dead multiple times now. And he's dead. It's his fault we trapped you in the first place. By my account. He stops and stares at his hands. They are transparent and becoming more so. Hey, what's going on? Intriguing. He looks at its hands and feet, which are fading in the same way. We are no longer tied to this place. Our consciousnesses are finding a more suitable location. What does that mean? Are we dying? Are we free? Neither, I think. You can see through his head and chest. It means this part of the mental construct is not ours, not truly. We are being drawn to some place that is. Camus places a hand on your shoulder. It feels solid, though you can hardly see it anymore. Farewell, friend brother. I don't know if we will meet again, but until then they are gone and you are alone.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going. I'll remember that.
The Spectre looks worriedly to a different corner of the car. A new portal has appeared, and there was only empty space before. They're in there, he says anxiously. Defeating that first fragment opened up the way, but there are a lot of them in there. I can feel them. They're feeding on your mind. He gives you a nervous smile. It's probably better to get rid of them, but I don't know if you can. You have to be strong. Stronger than you are now, I bet. How did get here? Say. But was probably imprisoned for a reason, and not just because it shows up in minds uninvited. Be careful. What should I do now? Massive, right? Yes.
Ready.
Anything else in my mind? Got mind and my money and my money and my mind.
Let's go.
Hey, Avina. A translucent man appears. He's unfamiliar to you, but he seems to be working on the machine. The ghostly woman watches him, her brow furrowed. I know him. The engine, it's... Who is he? I think he's my father. The memories of this place must be fuzzy. He doesn't look right, but he feels right. I'm certain it's him. She reaches out for the translucent figure, but her hand goes right through him. Talking after you ate something? Not that easy. Too much saliva and still some bun stuff. Better than butt stuff. I'm sorry. She reaches out for the translucent figure, but her hand goes right through him. She calls out, "Father? Father!" The man continues his work as though she weren't there. The ghostly woman sags. I'm invisible to him. You. She places a solid hand on your shoulder, her eyes suddenly lit. I used that machine, that probability engine, to recreate me and other women. This machine is but a memory, but the engine exists in the real world, and know it. She looks at the ghostly man. Speak to him. Find out how to turn it off. Then you can do the same in the real world and end this.
Making a note. Ready.
Okay, Sigyn. Irina, Sigyn, and Loss of Self. I thought there were only 3 other women. So I think I found them all. The machine and the stasis chamber are transformed into shattered, smoking wrecks. The ghostly woman laughs. The first time you've heard her do so, though the humor in it is dubious. I died. I remember it now. I never survived the stasis chamber, and the probability engine through his vain attempt to resurrect me.
I'll remember that.
She looks sadly at the translucent man representing her father. He doesn't know. He thinks he can save me, but he's lost me forever. Tell him. Tell him he can never get me back, not the real me. What's left of the woman inside is unrecognizable, and the smell's too real for your taste.
Yes.
Whatever caused this destruction did an extremely thorough job of it.
Fine.
Okay, are there any other
Fine.
womeny echoes?
All right.
Nothing here, okay.
All right.
Hey, ghostly man! The ghostly woman's father works frantically, turning dials, stripping metal wires, attaching and detaching various pieces within the machine. After each change, he places a hand on the side of the machine, speaks some words and gestures in the air. He doesn't seem to notice you at all. Can I help you? No, he says, but he doesn't appear to be speaking to you. That's not right. Her hair was softer, thinner. Eyes more like caramel. He speaks to the machine again, swipes through the air rapidly, then sticks his hands inside the engine and rearranges several delicate parts. I'd really like to help you. He continues his work, completely oblivious to you. What? He whirls around, his eyes bright with fury. Turn it off! That would kill her! Kill her! Do you understand? I'm so close to bringing her back. It's just a matter of tuning the machine correctly. His face darkens. I won't shut it down, and you will not force me. Although he makes no signal or gesture, the Tabard soldiers from the other side of the fathom run to his aid. Somehow, this ghostly construct's anger has summoned them. Boss of Tabard? Leave. The platform rumbles with the power and pain of his cry. Leave me alone, and you will not take what's left of my daughter from me. Let's try to persuade him. That's my strong suit. Better than attacking him and 3 other Tabard. It's hurting people, and then I will persuade him. Yes. He waves you off. Bah, you're guessing. You don't know the side effects any more than I do, but I do know this will bring her back to me. Now leave, or I will force you to leave. 80%. Success. No. No, my daughter is... He starts to point at the ghostly woman, then takes a closer look at her. Are you truly dead? I am not your daughter. She's gone forever. He looks between you and her. Despair growing on his face. Finally, his shoulders sag.
Updated my journal.
Despondently, he says, watch. He places his hand on the side of the engine and says the word Neshu. Suddenly, a glowing interface appears in the air. He presses 5 symbols in a specific sequence. He performs the ritual a second time, and then the machine grows quiet and dim. The ghostly man begins to fade. To the woman he says, I only wanted to set things right. Then he's gone. Okay. Dizzy machine, okay, okay. Okay. I told you to shut off the engines. Go! Turn them off before it gets any worse.
I'll
Where
remember.
is it? I know where it is. I don't know, but it looks like that, I'm sure of it. She points to the probability engine nearby. Keep looking. I know it's there somewhere. It must be hidden if it's still doing its work. Look underneath the city. There are thousands of buried secrets there. Farewell. Stop the machine, whatever it takes.
Oh,
I will try. I'm here to serve.
all right.
I think this will be a little too hard.
Fine.
Thank you.
Sorry. Death. The stink of it, of dried blood and rotting flesh, fills your nostrils. This is your first clue that you are somehow still alive. The second is the glow of candlelight, warm on your eyelids, and the icy stone beneath your back. Slippers scuffed the ground near your head. Ah, says an elderly man. Our mysterious visitor is alive after all. I am glad we waited to feast. Though you were quite dead when we found you. Open your eyes, child. Despite the glare of the dim candles, which seem, at least momentarily, as bright as sunlight, you see a cluster of robed figures. Only Mbitu remains where he was, clasping his hands together with unfiltered delight, his teeth brown and jagged. I knew that you were special. So many eyes have settled on that face, moving through the crowds, chin high and proud, sunlight kissing that wonderful tattoo. He reaches out a trembling finger towards it. Okay. His feverish skin traces over yours, leaving a burning trail, and he smiles. I'm afraid I must ask you for a simply unthinkable favor. You may have suspected that we are going to eat you, he says, raising a bony finger. This is somewhat true, but only so that the wonders of your life would not be lost. He looks down bashfully. And now that we know you cannot die, well, would you do us the honor of letting us eat you just a little bit? If you do, we will share some of our deepest mysteries, and yours, with you. And we'll pay you, of course. Sharing knowledge? Go ahead. Elegant grumbles beneath his breath but doesn't intervene. Mbitu and his followers lean over you in well-orchestrated unison. Cutting slits in your flesh, hoses dangle from their wrists leading into their suits. They snake, seemingly of their own accord, into your incisions. For a moment, nothing happens. Then, you hear faint whirring as spinning blades grind your organs and suck the pulp up through the hoses. Someone is screaming, and you have a fairly good idea who. Eventually, mercifully, you die. That cost 2 health pool points. That's okay. After an indefinite amount of time, you open your eyes, and B2 sits beside you, reading a book. Ah, he says, setting it down. Welcome back. What an exquisite experience that was, though I'm certain you don't need to hear about it while you're waking up. He beams. At any rate, I took the liberty of adding a token of our gratitude to your belongings to come speak to me whenever you're ready to discuss what we learned from our little feast. It's 1 relativistic damage and confers bleeding to attacker. Oh, that's good. This charm was given to you by Mbitu in gratitude for letting the Dendra O'Hur consume you. It is shaped like a sprig, but it is made of bone fragments and viscera that were harvested from your body. While disgusting, it displays a level of loving craftsmanship. The ornament has been imbued with mystic properties, known only to the Dendra O'Hur, and it acts as a ward against attacks. Aha. Cool. Now, if you happen to have another semi-fatal accident, rest assured that we will bear you back to our chapel as tenderly as a bag of baby birds. He pats your hand gently, and you have my word that it won't take so much as a nibble without your permission. I'm not averse to strangers nibbling on my tenders, but I think you took that too far, lad. Uh-huh. Good.
Sure enough.
Is there anything new here? What did you gain from eating me? Oh, she says, clasping her clawed hands together tightly. Oh, tenderling, such sweetness. Flesh like fatty silk, supple muscle, secrets that crunch between the teeth. She chuckles shyly and pats her belly. We could not keep you in.
I think I'm ready to
But you
try
are here
something.
again? You are whole? She shakes her head. Such a miracle. Looking down, she chews her lip. We are working on making a way home. A new portal. If we do, we want to take you with us. Your soft, regrowing flesh can change our world. Gone can be the wars of feasting. Gone can be the cries of hungry tenderlings, sucking on jagged bones for marrow. Her tone is wistful, but her eyes, when she raises them, are sly. Are there others like you, anywhere at all? I'm the only one, sorry. You're sad to hear this, she says, though you don't detect the emotion on her leering face. Instead, she appears to be drooling. But consider coming home with us. Know that we can offer you an adventure, a soft bed in a warm place, a way to change your world. She wipes the saliva from her chin and waves a dismissive claw. Not yet. We do not know a way home, but we can find one if we try. Okay. Get tower. Oh, she's also a ghostly
I'll
woman.
remember
Okay.
that.
You seem unhappy here. No one asked you what you think. Leave me alone. Then she chuckles. It's not a happy sound. I'm being selfish, aren't I? You let us eat you? Let us into your head? You don't deserve the edge of my tongue for asking if I'm all right. She rubs an eye with the heel of her hand. Fine. I'm not happy here. I want to go. Satisfied? Why not? Keep your voice down, she says, closing her eyes. Her hand slips wearily from her hairline down her neck. I thought this was a place I could settle. For a while, I was sure. Should have known better. I don't last long in groups. Couldn't even stand my family. Was better off on my own, even though... Say nothing? I was better off on my own, she says at last, more firmly. She opens her eyes again. And it wasn't my real family. I knew that even then. I don't remember much about my parents, she piles scorn on the word. They were butchers, and they had me helping in their shop just about as soon as I could walk. Every night I wouldn't so much sleep as black out, and I started having the same dream over and over. A smile steals over her face. It was a light. He told me that I was his daughter, that he was sorry he'd left me, but he'd had no choice, and that he'd find me again someday. Say nothing? In the silence between her thoughts, Kiatawa stares at the wall behind you, or through it. I ran away, she says finally. Made my way. Not much to tell there or much I want to tell. I want to tell, just that the dreams kept coming. She grimaces. I woke from one of them a year ago to see Mbitu, our leader, at my side. He told me I'd been calling to someone in my sleep. Said he'd help me find my father. Her lips twist. So I joined. Ate a few corpses, but nothing got clearer. And he's never spoken about it since. He and the rest of them only care about the next meal. You're angry with Mbitu. I don't like being lied to, she says, eyes flat with frustration. He promised answers when I joined him and this cult. Maybe he promised too much, or maybe he just forgot. But it's a lie either way. More about the dream. It's almost always the same, she says, rubbing her forehead. The man, my father, calls to me, or someone I'm supposed to become, as if he won't come for me until I become that woman. She shakes her head. And that's another reason I joined. I kept hearing her, a young woman's voice, telling me who I should be. I thought filling my mind with other people's memories would drown her out. She showed us sleep in silent, bitter laughter. Didn't work out that way. Why don't you leave?
I think I'm ready to try something new.
I'm going to. She promises with a dark look at her family. I've already been here too long.
I think I'm ready to try something new.
I probably look like a lot of people, she says, an edge in her voice. So what? Okay, farewell.
All right.
And you there with the last, or one of the other cast-offs? No.
Of course.
Mallet. What about Cha? What you want, Shalmeet? He says, leering. Why did you join the Dendra O'Hur? I used to work for Fulsum, he says with a grimace. Muscle work, you know. Money was good, but Fulsum kept giving me little jobs, giving the best stuff to his proteges. He curls his lip. Then I saw the Dendra O'Hur, saw the way people respect them even if you could break most of them in half with 2 hands. I thought that maybe there was room for a man to grow here. I was right. I got tired of working in Fulsum's shadow, sick of taking orders from him and hearing people laugh behind my back.
Action! Here I come!
Mbitu. Ah, our restless corpse. Mbitu beams at you, clasping his skeletal hands together like a tangle of twigs. Such a curiosity you are. What did you learn? Quite a bit, he says cheerily, then grimaces. Too much, in fact. Your immortal flesh proved slightly too rich for some of my children. I have quite a bit more experience and fortitude than them. However, for me, it is merely overwhelming rather than explosive. I shall endeavor to tell you what I have learned, but I fear it may not be as clear as you would hope. It always takes a while to digest the information contained in just one life. Your body contained countless wonders. We will be decades absorbing them all. In other words, my interpretation may sound somewhat unfinished, unclear, mystical. He pronounces the last word with distaste. But I would happily share these visions with you. Merely ask. Share a vision with me. Of course, he says and closes his eyes. Teetering gently, he draws a long, smooth breath. He hates the bed, this prison that holds her. He growls, and the voice is scarcely his own. His cheerful brow contorts. He swears words in tearful haste, and wears them like jewels in a crown for centuries, even long after they have lost their luster and their purpose. Mbito opens his eyes, beaming. Didn't hear a word of it, but it felt fascinating. I hope it was helpful, and do come back if you want to hear more. Sorry, I had something to eat just now. Share another vision with me. He closes his eyes and begins to speak. He regrets the first one he leaves behind, the next, less so. Soon they are falling like leaves to be crunched underfoot, and by then he has begun telling himself it is not only necessary, but good. He recalls and opens his eyes. That's all for now, I'm afraid. Another vision. Each year brings him closer to his goals. Each year brings her closer to him. Each of the long arms and the bruised blood. Her that loved the tides first and holds dominion over them. Her that hollows, burns, and kills. He absent-mindedly wipes a line of sweat from his withered forehead. Her breath is on your neck, the long race is done, and you have lost. Mbito's eyes pop open. Was it of any help? It certainly felt dire. I do hope it wasn't bad news. His eyes flutter for a moment. I'm afraid that the visions get rather more fragmented from here. Just doing a little webcam tuning with a little more color and a little more contrast, but mainly color. Yeah. And then doing something against. That's better. That's better. Good, good, good. Let's continue. Another vision. He closes his eyes and begins to speak. Doors. 3 doors. All of them belong to our greatest enemies. Gather the ones he scattered. Gather the seeds and the husks. You will never see every level of the labyrinth, and that is good. That's it. Everything else is a muddle for now. Can you come back in, say, a year or so? Okay. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye.
Done.
Done.
Absolutely.
I wonder where the music has gone.
Why not?
Oh, it's coming. It's coming now. Is he still there? Check is still there. Okay, thank you. But I have my own automaton, so I don't need you really. Examine it.
To action!
Let's see where we could have gone if we wouldn't have stepped over the edge.
Gladly.
Gladly. Climb up! A sheer cliff rises above the ledge. Its surface is rough and jagged. There are enough handholds that it looks climbable, but it wouldn't be easy. He could do it, but let's increase the stat pools. Deception, persuasion is something that I will certainly use. But speed is good as well sometimes. In fights and when he uses his quick fingers, for example. He doesn't need might. Really not. More intellect. Ooh, ability unlocked. Gain plus 15 on attacks. Blindfolded and upside down, you'd still hit your target. You're just that good. Practice with handling ciphers allows you to carry more without risking ill effects. All other party... Tybee has seen a few things in his life and is more than willing to share what he knows. His allies benefit from his experience and eagerness to rehearse his favorite stories. Coded luck or skill, but Tybee is very, very good at staying alive long enough to loot the bodies. I've got all them abilities. I don't have to choose. That's... Ooh, nice. One ability to learn. Holding more ciphers? I don't know. You're a jack of all trades, able to make connections between disparate tasks. Your broad base of knowledge makes it a snap to apply your skills to new situations. Ignore the flanked battle when surrounded by enemies. You're never surrounded. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Ignoring the flanked battle, that shouldn't be bad. That shouldn't be too bad. I mean, a +5 bonus for... What did you do? Law Mystical? Let's give him the Brawler. Yeah, come on. One skill to increase. He doesn't smash, he doesn't perceive, that's what I'm doing. Maybe some more health. That could be good. Running could be good as well. Initiative. Run, boy, run. And I see, every time I level the flex skill,
All right.
I have to use the flex skill again. But I have used it already,
What?
and it's gone now, after I've leveled, isn't it? Natural. Machinery. And he's supposed to have mystical. Yeah, okay. Deception, persuasion, quick fingers, amnesis, perception. Good, 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 good. Now, you there, Tibia,
Yes.
climb us up. Level of effort. Oh, that's why he's better than anyone else. 60%. 80. Come on, 80%. Oh, snap. No success. The climb feels easy. You're halfway up when suddenly both of your footholds crumble simultaneously. You grab a jutting rock in panic, but it snaps away. You land with a sickening thwack onto the ledge below. It could have been worse. On the plus side, you think you figured out how to read the cliff to find better footholds. Let's try that again, huh, Tibia? Does anyone else have... Well, you have lots of speed and you don't really use them, so... Take us up there, Eritus. Ah, thank you. The cliff face is deceptive. Holes that look like they'll crumble in your hands stay firm, while solid-looking protrusions crumble like they were made of sand. With careful planning, though, you make it all the way to the top. Woo! A welcome blast of wind caresses your face at the cliff top. Your companions follow the path you blazed for them.
All right.
Ooh, loot! Good loot. Most of the cliff top is obscured by a dome of energy. When you get close to it, the air hums and your hair stands on end. Yeah, leave.
Yes.
First of all, I want to get the loot.
Done.
I thought should be there. Maybe it's inside the dome? Try to see what's inside the dome. The air sizzles as you get closer, popping across your skin like invisible jumping beetles. When you are within arm's reach, a control interface appears in the air in front of you. It has a glowing circle with strange symbols floating at the edges and a vertical bar next to it. When you step back again, the interface disappears. Glowing circle with strange symbols at the edges, a vertical bar next to it. Okay. Whatever energy forms this dome is completely opaque. You can't see anything through it. Oddly though, you can see the shadows of the cliffs and birds on the other side. That's odd. Lore mystical. You see, Tibia? I told you. Man. We take a short pee break. I haven't taken one yet, and I need one. Also, I need some kind of dessert after I had all these nice little rolls. So, see you in a minute. Check, check, check. 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 Check, check. 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 Let's continue. Again? Nothing, okay. Mystical lore. Ooh! Seems not to be that complicated. Tall tale teller. Thank you, Tabia. Let's get... Just to be sure. I'm very intrigued by this. The circle is likely a place to put one's hand or face. Probably the former, since the heat from the dome might burn your face. Presumably, someone with the proper authority could open the dome by using the holographic bar on the side as a kind of latch. The symbols around the circle are unfamiliar. I have something in my eye. And on my glasses. I'm sorry. I think it was a hair of my beard. Okay. The symbols around the circle are unfamiliar, suggesting this installation is very old, perhaps predating the truth. Truth is the language they talk, like common in D&D. Whoever created this dome then wanted to keep what was inside a secret from anyone except those to whom he or she had given access. Ooh, the sun is coming. Bam. Try to use the interface. Come on, touch the dome. Okay. The air heats up, dancing across your skin like fire. Ignoring the minor pain, you press 2 fingers against the surface of the dome. Suddenly, your fingers are stuck fast to the dome's energy. The burning intensifies, and smoke rises from your fingertips. Screaming, you manage to wrench your fingers away from the dome, stumble, and fall to the ground. I'd like to think experience like this would teach you something, but I know better. Bloody webcam, bloody sun, but it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Let's use the interface. As soon as you place your hand in the circle, the symbols light up and spin rapidly. Apparently, you have the authority to enter. You slide your hand up the bar on the side. The interface disappears. The air cools immediately, and the dome fades until it is gone entirely.
On my way.
Smooth. Now, let's loot. A war mask. This dark mask appears to be made of wood, yet it feels like cold metal to the touch. Whoa, that sound. When you put it to your face, you hear the sound of war drums beating in the distance. Eyes of the Finite. Sucker Punch, attack that... This is a small glass plate fashioned into a pin, though it can hardly be called a fashion item, as a crowd of otherworldly eyes competes to look out through the glass into the curious world that you inhabit. The eyes reveal weaknesses in foes, especially those already weakened. Take off! Okay. Where's my crew?
Go.
Crew! Come here, crew. Let's look at that thing.
On it.
The machine hums softly. An orange glow appears beneath its dark, glossy surface. A large alien symbol dominates the space, with words in a smaller script on the side, but you cannot understand the writing. Even so, it feels like you've seen the writing somewhere before. Anamnesis. Shimona! After studying the text for several minutes, you begin to see, or perhaps simply remember, patterns in the words. In a flash, the purpose of the device comes back to you. This is an omniscope, a device used to view locations from afar. The large alien symbol is actually an inhuman handprint. The longer list next to it is a set of location names, and the shorter list denotes ranges of time. how far back in time the omniscope should look. You discover that you can actually read them all. Let's leave it. That sounds spooky. Come on, is that screenshot time?
Fine.
That was a screenshot. The omniscope's readout blooms into being again. An inhuman handprint dominates the space. One item from it is already selected. Okay, but let's look into here. The holographic panel appears to be a control interface. In the center is what looks like a utility map of Sargus Cliffs. It's surrounded by a number of symbols you cannot immediately identify, and in the upper tight quadrant is some sort of cube within a cube. Strange as the panel is, you can't shake a strong sense of familiarity about it. Examine it closely. The map of Sargus has a number of locations highlighted, some of which you recognize. There are 4 symbols around it: a circle that looks like the sun, a cluster of stars, a triangle of 3 eyes, and what looks like a crystal lattice. All the symbols are lit except for the crystal lattice. Larger than all 4 symbols is the cube within the cube, which you suddenly remember is called a tesseract. It appears to be moving. Sun, stars, eyes. Okay. Examine it again. Okay. Why does it feel familiar? A memory emerges, as clear as if it were happening to you right now. You are at a cracked door at the base of a stairwell. The door squeaks quietly as you ease it open. Your breath catches in your throat, but the Tabat soldiers outside don't notice you. You squeeze through the door, a keen-eyed young girl behind you, and slip out of the tower down the blood-stained corridor and into the city. The city is under attack. You dash through the streets to the nearest of your generators. Pressing a couple of buttons, you and the girl are teleported elsewhere. You find yourself in front of the very same control panel atop the cliff. With quick movements, you shift the tesseract, slipping the controls from space to time. Then you press the cluster of stars to connect the network of temporal shield generators. On the map, the network of generators bursts to life, sharing an energy across the city to create an enormous shield over all of Sargus Cliffs. The dome of energy fills the sky, unmooring the city from time itself. On the other side of the shield, the world shifts and shimmers, objects and landscape appearing and disappearing before your eyes. The place is the same, you realize, but you're seeing it in many different time periods at once. The important thing is that no one can enter or exit the dome while the city is temporarily unmoored. That should buy the city's defenders the space they need to fight off the Tabat and survive. The memory fades. You stand above Caravanserai again. The interface is the same as the one from your memory, and you understand what at least some of these controls do. Try to determine the purpose. You stare at the controls for several minutes, but you can make no sense of them. It might be easier if you just tried them out to see what happens. Touch the sun. The platform hums, the air pops and sizzles. For a few seconds, activity outside the platform shifts. People flicker in and out. Caravanserai changes, first the ships and then the buildings themselves. You see them as old and deteriorated, then new, and then under construction on the bare rock, all within seconds. Your platform remains steady, but outside, as if time is shifting as swiftly as the sea. The platform shudders suddenly, then clicks off. The air cools and quiets, and Caravanserai returns to the way it was. After keeping the energy dome active for so long, centuries or longer, it seems that the platform no longer has enough power to remain active. 3 eyes. The map changes color. Each of the bright points lights up in turn, occasionally stretching a faded line from one point to another. After a minute of this, the map fades. A voice speaks the truth directly into your mind. Temporal network connections limited. Please repair the network. Okay. The crystal lattice next to the map lights up. Touch it. Again, the map lights up and changes colors. The lines between each point grow and fade. Some of them grow solid and then disappear. Others have gaps in them and that never light up at all. After several minutes, the activity ceases and the voice speaks to you again. Could not restore network. Temporal connections have deteriorated beyond repair. Please consult your system conservator immediately. You can't erase the shield again like in your memory, but the network once had another purpose you remember. You remember. In the memory you used the Tesseract to shift the controls. Oh,
Yes.
this is making my head hurt. I think... Yeah. Let's do this next time. I have no idea what is going on. We have taken the loot.
All right.
Okay. Ugh. Damn. I think that's it for today, folks. Also, now that the sun is annoying me, maybe it's just time to leave. The sun has won. I mean, it's the sun. You can't mess with the sun. So, okay. You've won, you glowing orb of fire. Next time, Torment at Numenera is on Tuesday. Again at 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 17:30. Now I even mixed 12 and 24-hour clock systems. See what the green screen is doing now. It's time to leave. I think this really confused me. Maybe next time. With more oxygen in my head and more... I don't know. Not at the end of the stream when I'm already a little tired. So, bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. Here, you see my face, bye-bye. I hope it's not glowing you away. Goodbye. Am Montag geht's um 19:30 Uhr weiter mit Gothic 2, die Nacht des Raben.